Tune in on 95.9 FM or online at revupslu.com. Call the studio at 572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Join Dr. Leonard Suraj on Rev-Up St. Lucia Tuesdays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for Doctor in the House. This 1-hour discussion call-in program delves into the science of various diseases, treatments and medical processes, and offers in-depth explanations to empower listeners and help ensure a better understanding of healthcare for all. So tune in on Tuesdays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for Doctor in the House with Dr. Leonard Suraj, only on Rev-Up St. Lucia. Doctor in the House brought to you the compliments of La Place Salazar, Susie's Variety, and Tapia Hospital.
At Tapia Hospital, caring and competent obstetric consultants will see you safely from prenatal care through delivery with a team of excellent pediatric and anesthetic support. Tapia Hospital, where the patient safety comes first.
You are the guru of groceries. You have a heightened awareness for lower prices. You journey to find freshness and variety and quality brands, and you have an acquired taste for specialty items. You want to set a good example for your followers, and that's why your higher calling is Susie's Variety Store. 2 stores that beat the giants on pricing, variety, and quality. Susie's Variety, small store, big love. Located in Cantonment, Vieux Fort, and Bois d'Orange, Gros-Îlet. Telephone 458-4161.
It's delicious.
La Place Salazar is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork, sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salazar, of course. La Place Salazar, Castries, Gros-Îlet, Vieux Fort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
It's now time for Doctor in the House with Dr. Leonard Suraj. Dr. Suraj, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Andre. Good evening, listeners.
Okay, can you please check the microphone, the connection?
Okay.
No, the microphone. Just check the connection at the bottom. Just here. All the way up? Thank you very much.
Yes,
okay, lovely. Thank you very much. I heard a tick.
Oh, okay.
I heard a tick.
All right. So I'm live now.
You good? Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Andre, for having me here. And again, to talk about some aspects of medicine on Rev-Up St. Lucia. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. And you can contribute by making a call to us now or any as the thing progresses. You can give us a shout at 572-9710 or a WhatsApp call at 287-0971. Today we'll be continue a conversation we had a few weeks ago in NIS. The role of NIS, the function of NIS, and the misconception, more importantly, the misconception people may have regarding the role and expectations of NIS. I have with me in studio the communication officer for NIC, Mrs. Joel Auguste Alexander. Mrs. Alexander, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you and good evening, Doc.
Right, and you know
and
the
also
newcomer
Mr. Paul.
Good evening. Good evening. Good to have you again.
Program.
Thank you.
Yes, and so I'd forgotten your voice when I called you, but when I heard this very smooth, mellow voice, I said, she's the one. So today we'll be talking about NIS. Many people have different perceptions of NIS. I used to be on a committee looking at disability and so forth some time ago, and I found that NIS, in my opinion, look for ways of improving the quality of service all the time, and say not everything is legislated, but they are, and I quite appreciated that about the role of the NIS. Many people think that NIS is like a bank, like they can put, like you have money in there. I have been accumulating money, so my money is there. So give me my money. kind of
And
thing.
NIC is far from being a bank. Like you said, with a bank, you put your money in there, and it's your money that's there. They save it. They add interest to it. You can leverage a loan on it. It's your money. If you want to close your account, you can ask to close your account, withdraw all the money that you have in your bank or credit union account. However, with NIC, I like to say that we don't pay NIC. We all contribute to St. Lucia's Social Security Fund. And it's not mine. It's not mine. So each of us in the room here, with 3 of us in the room here, each of us, we contribute to the fund so that in the event that either of us, there is income loss, that we can tap into that pool of resources so that we can receive benefits through sickness, if it's sickness, maternity, employment, injury, retirement, or upon death. However, with the 3 of us in this room having a bank account or a credit union account with my money, it's your money. So if you have $5,000 in your bank account, that's your money. You take a loan, you need to ensure that you met certain conditions so you can take a loan from that bank account, that institution, and it will leverage on your money, what you have. But with NIC and Social Security, it does not work that way. So don't expect to get $5,000 out with interest at any point in time. Because like I said the last time, someone in receipt of a monthly pension in a matter of 2 to 3 years, every cent that they would have put into the Social Security pool will be paid back out to them. This person lives for the next 20 years. NIC pays them religiously, faithfully, every month for the next 20 years. And they pass away. And they leave behind a spouse who has never contributed to the NIC. This spouse too now can apply for the survivor's benefit and be paid that out. So I want to get it very clear from the jump that NIC Social Security is not a bank. And I've explained the difference between a bank and NIC/Social Security.
But let me ask you a burning question.
Burning.
So, so if I contribute to NIS and and I meet the requirements for me to get a pension, and you're saying within a few years of me getting that pension, I would have used up whatever amount of money I had
put in.
Say 10 years. So, but where does NIS get that money? Because many people will live more than 10 years, and their spouse might live another 10 years. So it's a large amount of money for NIS to find. So how does it get all that money? Where does it income come
So NIC will have to do investments. We have to do investments, and we have an investment policy that with the investment policy one, there's an investment committee on the board, a subcommittee of the board that deals specifically with our investments. Like I said, in a matter of 2 to 3 years, every cent that you put in would have been paid back out. So we have to get money.
Right.
We have to invest to generate more money for
And I think many
us.
people don't know that.
Many persons will, yes.
They would have thought, well, the money is there all the time, but from what you are saying, it can easily be exhausted.
Easily.
And therefore, you all have to have, and I see have to have the kind of wisdom to know long-term investment and this kind of thing. I don't really want to go too deep into that, just to say that everything seems simple if you don't know it.
That's true.
And once you begin to understand how the money is derived, then you can see the benefits of it. Because many a time people say, hey, NIS, my life was I didn't spend long with
into retirement.
On the retirement, and where's the rest of my money? But it is more like a pooling.
That's
money.
exactly what Social Security
in fact,
is.
I was reading something not too long ago before I came here, and they were saying that if you are retired now, then your pension is paid by the people who are currently working.
Correct.
A time will come when they will retire, and those that will be currently working will be paying for them. So it is almost like one help out the other.
And that's exactly the cycle of Social Security. You pay into it so that those, especially for pensions, those who are many years ahead of you, to be able to reap the benefits or receive the benefits that, like you said, that I'm paying into NIC now, for maybe you to receive a pension.
All right.
Yes.
And, well, we always believe that government is full of money and can always bail you off. But from what I understand is that the financing of NIC is separate from government.
It is a statutory body.
Okay, all right.
Statutory body with the board of directors, with the director, with management, yes. So we more or less, NIC is an agency of St. Lucia that falls under the Ministry of Finance. So the Minister of NIC, Social Security, would be the Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister.
Okay, right. One other thing, quite separate from the money side of things, is the sick leave. Well, the doctors, I noticed that you have a new sick leave form. In the past, I used to fill a form that is just a few lines. But now I'm getting a 5-page document, although I still have to sign
just that one. I like that. Just that one.
Sorry. See, although it has not increased my burden in the sense that the only additional thing I have to add is my registration number
and
my
the expiry date. Correct.
To make sure that I'm current. Although you all can always pick up the phone and find out if I'm current.
But Doc, imagine if every sick leave we get, we have to make that call. So for us, if you provide, because we can go through, and we have gone through the council in the past.
Yeah.
But that can take time, and also with the updates on their end, of their dating, their information on our end, and getting it to us. So instead of going through someone else, if the doctors can just provide that information. And I have noticed that quite a few doctors have that information on their stamp. Which makes it
more
easier
difficult to do
us.
the stamp for the expiry, because we have a 2 years, so you have to change your stamp
every 2 years.
Otherwise, you can just put it as the registration number, which does not change, and just you can.
But then I'll still need for NIC to have to contact someone. But you ask the question. You ask, why did we go from one sheet, 2 pages, to 3 sheets, 5 pages? This new form, and that's just sick leave is just one of the many forms that we have changed. We have updated and revised, and the reason for that is we saw in the past that we had quite a few queries on that simple 2-page 1 sheet form. So the new form, once it's completed, and I see that once it's completed in full and accurately, it should lessen the number of queries that we receive on that form, on that claim when it's submitted to the NIC. Because there's a part by the employer, the claimant, the one who got sick, you complete that part. With the new forms came as a part of updated amendments in our legislation. So with the amendments in our legislation, we can now pay benefit payments to employers. Once the claimant, as a person who was sick, assign the payment to the employer. So now we have that part there. So there's a consent part for the claimant to give NIC consent for the payment to go to the employer.
So how does that work? So I am an employee. I fall sick or whatever.
You got sick leave.
Yeah, I got sick leave, and I can have a permission that tells my employer they can collect my money on my behalf.
Yes, that's if your employer has advanced your salary and paid you in full.
Okay.
So your employer paid you in full or advance your payment with the hope that the payment from the NIC would go to them.
Okay.
So now that's a new part of the form.
But before that, the employee would bring
the check
to the employer.
So we went from the check, and then when we discontinued the check, we did direct deposits. Now with the direct deposits, persons who receive their full salary from the employer, that's the advance payment, when they would have to wait for NIC to make the payment, send it to the direct deposit to their account. Then they have to inform the employer that NIC sent X amount for that period on that date. Now, there was it caused quite a lot of problems with the employee because the turnaround time now is not just HR to get involved, HR, HR, accounts, payroll, and it just lengthened the process. While you think that it would quicken it, it'll lengthen the process. Somebody had to follow up and follow up and then follow up. So then with that, so now if you receive your full salary from your employer advance your salary, your payment, and you give permission to the NIC so that we can forward that payment directly to your employer on your behalf. So that part is an amendment to the new form.
Okay.
Also, you would have, our listeners may be aware that we were doing direct deposits. You'd have to go onto the website to submit your banking information. There is actually a part on the form now you can submit, you can put in your personal financial information, whether it's a bank or a credit union. That's something new on the form. You spoke about the doctor's part with we were asking for the registration, the license number, and also the expiry date. There's also a part on the form if it's late, because all our claims at the NIC, we have stipulated time frames to submit the claim to be within time. For instance, sick leave, you have 3 months from the end date of the sick leave. Once you pass the 3 months, it's a late submission. In the past, what we would have to do when the form comes into the NIC, it's late, it's put in query, we have to contact the employee, that's the claimant, and let them know that your claim is late. Either you have to get a letter from your employer, or you have to indicate why it's late, and that was a further delay. So that's another query. And that's a further delay. So with the amended form, if the form is coming into us late, there's a section here. You indicate the reason why it's late. And if the reason is on the employer's part, they write the reason, they sign it. If it's on the claimant's part, they write the reason and they sign it. So that's just many of the queries that this new form, once it's completed in full and accurately, it should lessen the queries. Now, I know persons, you went from, literally, Andre, you went from one
page.
This is the sick leave. And this was the sick leave before, and this is it now. Yes, I know at first it can be a bit, oh my goodness, what is NIC doing? But like I tell persons, it's good to get familiar with the form. Once you're familiar with the form, you keep using the form, it would be easier. And like I said, once completed in full and accurately, it should have less queries. You would be surprised that persons, doctors, still issue the old form, and that is causing queries because certain information that should be attached to the claim is not on it because that's on the new form and not the old form. So, I know we told doctors we encourage them to use up the old stock. But I think some doctors have a lot of old stock and no new stock. So we're still receiving the old forms or the former forms, but not the other information. And that is creating query and a delay in payments.
So you'd suggest to all the doctors that they must use the new form?
Yes, as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm guilty of that because I have a few old forms. I use it and only to find out. To me, well, initially when I got the 5-page form, I said, look at the amount of work they are giving us again. And, because a lot of what you do is writing, because all doctor-patient interaction is a medico-legal entity. So whatever you discuss, you have to write it at some point. So there's a lot of writing. That's why doctors on writing are not good, because they write a lot.
That's the reason.
They write a lot. Oh yeah, there are no shortcuts in there. Because
so that's why mine is so bad.
Oh,
Dr. Paul.
you write a lot?
No, I'm a doctor because my writing is so bad.
It's not the other way around. But yes, so because when you enter medical school, whereas in A-level and so forth, teacher used to give you notes and you write, and he give you a little time to write. When you are at medical school, the guy just come in and talk and walk out. You're supposed to know you're supposed to take notes on what they're saying. So you have to take notes while they're talking, and they're not going to slow down for you. So they mess up your handwriting. So therefore, things where you can make, I won't say shortcuts, but where you can actually use codes. Not even code I want to use. Where you can use symbols that facilitate it, like for example, a month. Take a medication for 1 month is 1 out of 12. So when you see 1 out of 12, it's not any big science behind it, and not anything the doctor hiding from you. If it's 1 week, it's 1 over 52 weeks in a year. And if it's 1 day, 1 over 7. So these things are not, people who don't understand things, they will tell you that, oh, they're hiding things from us, they don't want to understand it, and it's a little language between the pharmacist and the doctor. But these you understand better than scribble writing. But most of the drugs themselves are peculiar in their own way. So by the time you write a few letters, they would know which drug that is, especially when you see the usage and how often and how many tablets for how long, you can pretty much know which drug it is. So that is why the writing is not as good as it when you started off. However, so when I saw these 5 pages, then I realized, when I analyzed the thing, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I realized, it's not really so bad. All we have to do now is to just fill in whatever form, and normally I know NIS likes the code, the ICD-9 code book, because they submit it to us. The code book is basically the ICD, which is the international international communication for different codes for different illnesses. So they have put out a code book. So we use that code book, and NIS prefers that. So many times we pick up the book, write J24, X35, whatever it is, and that when you tally it with the sheet, you realize that it's a particular illness, but not to hide it from anybody, but it is to be able to ensure that the right message is transmitted.
So this new form, is that for your patients to fill out, or you as the employer, or the doctor? How does it work?
She will tell you about it.
There's a part for the claimant, there's a part for the doctor, there's a part for the employer. So everyone fills out this form, and everyone connected to that claim.
So I go to see Dr. Suraj. He says to me, okay, I'm going to give you 2 weeks sick leave. So before I leave his office, he fills out a portion that he's responsible for.
Correct.
And I have to.
And then you complete your part, and you submit to your employer for them to complete their part. And then it is submitted to the NIC. Either you or them will submit it to the NIC.
So, I asked a stupid question. So what about the person who's really sick? I mean, they can't even walk. They can't even talk. They can't even move. How do they?
So they would need to submit some parts of it. They would need to complete part of it and send it to the employer, because remember, the employer would need to know that you're out on sick leave for 2 weeks, for 14 days. They would need to know when you're coming, when your sick leave started, when you're returning to, and also remember there's a payment part of it, because the employer would pay you part of your salary while you're out on sick leave. So this information would need to get to the employer. That's why most times employers submit sick leave claims to the NIC. So then, yes, you might be sick and you might be out, but something has to be communicated to your employer, unless you'd have vacated your post. So something has to be, whether it's a picture of the front of it, and then when you are able to submit it to your employer, whether it's you personally or someone on your behalf, but something has to be passed on to the employer for them to know the reason why you're away from work.
So can the person's doctor then assist in that regard? If it's somebody who's really, really incapacitated,
filling the form,
can you assist the patient?
Well,
with their section, or that's something that they are supposed to do themselves?
No, if the patient wants an assistant in filling the form, you can assist them.
Okay.
But it is their information, and
they would need to sign it.
And they would need to sign it, yeah, because that's theirs. And so, back to what the employer pays. So, if I am on sick leave for a week,
7 days.
7 days. Yeah, his days are called. Saturday and Sunday is a day.
Saturday and Sunday is 2 days.
2 days, right. That's right. Each of them are a day. But what I want to say is that if you are on sick leave, patients say that the amount of money they get is less than their salary.
The amount of money they get from where?
Yeah, so if I'm accustomed of getting $100 a week or month, then when I am on sick leave, I don't get that amount, do I?
No, you don't.
Right, because I get a percentage.
Okay. So yes, so from the NIC for sick leave, we don't pay the first 3 days.
The employer.
The employer pays the first 3 days at 100%. We also don't pay Sundays because Sundays, if you work on a Sunday, you'd have an off day during the week, and for that, if your sick leave runs to your off day, NIC would pay you for your technical off day. So then for the NIC, Sundays would be our off day. We don't pay Sundays throughout. For all the days that's payable, we pay 65% of your average of the 4 months before the month of illness. But even when I say we pay the average of the 4 months, we have to remember that the maximum contributions for any given month is $500. Contributions of $500 would indicate to the NIC that your salary is $5,000 and over. So it's only your first $5,000 that's covered by Social Security. So if your monthly salary is, let's say, $6,000, don't expect 65% of $6,000.
Yeah.
Because it's only the first $5,000. Your whole $6,000 doesn't come to the NIC. $500, which is 10% of the 5,000. So anything beyond 5,000, it's only the first 5,000 that's covered. So I think our listeners, we need to understand how Social Security works. We're not paying you your salary, because also some persons receive allowances on their salary that does not attract NIC. So for instance, mileage, reimbursements, these allowances do not attract NIC. Also, travel allowance less than $500. That does not attract NIC. So that might form part of your earnings at the end of the month. But these allowances, they may not attract NIC. So we would not even know that you earn that portion of your salary because it doesn't attract NIC. So I think we need to understand that it's not percentage of salary. It's percentage of what we call insurable earnings, the part of your salary that's covered by the NIC. On the flip side, when your employer pays you 35%, they pay in 35% of your salary.
Okay. And not of, because it is not of the NIS part, meaning that,
of your salary.
Right. So which might be even, if you have a big salary, it might be equal.
It might be more.
It might be more too. Okay.
And for instance, some persons, Mr. Paul, some persons who may normally get overtime or these allowances that pad up your salary, in the month that you have, let's say you're on sick leave for the entire month, there's no overtime. So what we would be paying you out, the 4 months that we would be using, your salary might be slightly higher than just basic salary alone. And it may be a case that the payment from the NIC would be slightly higher than your base pay without any allowances, without any overtime.
And I've had some patients who they ask you for sick leave, but they don't want too much leave because they know once you get to a certain stage, they don't generate as much income as...
That for me has always been very worrisome, because if you're unwell, it's because you're sick, you're going to the doctor.
That's right.
And the doctor is saying to you that, hey, patient, I think that you need 7 days. And you have someone saying, no, doc, I cannot take any more than 2 days or 3 days. I'm worried about that, because... But then on the flip side is some persons, they know their situation. They know if they're out for any more than 3 days, that's financial problems for them.
Yeah. So they brave it.
Dr. Suraj, we'll take a little break. Come back in just a moment.
Okay.
This is Doctor in the House live on Rev-Up St. Lucia, brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salison, Susie's Variety, and Tapia Hospital.
Tapia Hospital Radiology Department offers 24-hour service. We provide you with X-ray, CT scans, and ultrasound imaging using the most modern equipment that produces the best images for your medical attention. Call the Radiology Unit at 459-2201. Tapia Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
You are the guru of groceries. You have a heightened awareness for lower prices. You journey to find freshness and variety and quality brands. And you have an acquired taste for specialty items. You want to set a good example for your followers. And that's why your higher calling is Susie's Variety Store. 2 stores that beat the giants on pricing, variety, and quality. Susie's Variety, small store, big love. Located in Cantonment, Vieux Fort, and Bois d'Orange, Gros-Îlet. Telephone 458-4161.
It's delicious.
La Place Salison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork, sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salison, of course. La Place Salison, Castries, Gros-Îlet, Vieux Fort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
This is Doctor in the House, live on Rev-Up St. Lucia. Dr. Suraj, it's back to you.
Thank you once again, Andre, and thank you, listeners, for remaining tuned to this conversation. And I have with me Mrs. Joel Ogis Alexander, who is a communication officer at NIC. We are discussing NIC and looking at how we can make you understand the working of NIC a little better. Because as we know, anything we don't understand have a devil in it.
Let me just give the numbers again.
Yeah.
The fixed line is 572-9710, 572-9710, or you can WhatsApp 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And we have somebody on the line, Dr. Suraj.
Okay.
You have to use your headphones.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
No, good evening, Andre.
Good evening. I was just thinking of you, to be honest.
You've become a regular
No, I know he has a personal interest in this
program.
topic. Yeah, this program. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's say you, sir. Thank you for
good
calling.
evening, the lady.
Hi, good evening.
Okay. Thanks for accepting my call.
You're welcome. And her name is Mrs. Alexander.
Mrs. Alexander.
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Alexander, you said there is a border. NIC border?
Yes, there is.
Okay. So, I want to know why, if there is a border, why it is always the Minister for Finance or the Prime Minister who always have to go to this border to at least give the contributors a little something. Because I never heard a board go to the Prime Minister and say, look, we have a little thing there, our contributors, we want to help them, we want to give them something. I never heard the board come with anything so, or say anything so. It is always the Minister for Finance or the Prime Minister who goes to the board. Like if the Prime Minister, the Minister for Finance don't go to the board will not come to the Prime Minister. Why it is so? I'll listen on the radio.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Thank you, caller. As I said earlier on, that NIC's Social Security falls under Ministry of Finance, with the Minister of Finance being the minister responsible for Social Security. So it's not, I think it's, if you're saying that it's the Prime Minister coming to the board, I think as the minister in charge of Social Security, he might just be the one announcing it. But I don't think it's a case that it is the Prime Minister that's actually coming to the board and saying, do this or do that.
Not even suggesting?
Well, we don't know. We can only assume because that's who we hear saying it first. But it can be because remember that
And this is what the caller is saying. Why does it have to be the Prime Minister doing the suggesting? That's what he's saying. Why doesn't the board take the lead?
Well, not remember, I'm not sure if you're aware that the government actually has a representative or two on the board. So it's a case that it's just the Prime Minister maybe announcing it first. You're first hearing it from the Minister in charge of Social Security, who's the Prime Minister. So I don't think it's a case that it is the Prime Minister coming to the board and saying, hey, do this or do that. It's just that the Minister in charge of Social Security might be the one we're hearing first saying it or announcing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Dr. Suraj, I know that's not where you plan to go, so, so I'll let that rest.
Okay.
But thanks, caller.
I remember the last conversation we had on that. Yeah, so I hope the caller is satisfied with that answer. I also, I understand that not everybody qualifies for NIS retirement
benefits.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to know, just tell the general public what qualifies you to obtain the benefits.
Okay, so anyone who has contributed to the NIC. So retirement benefits could either be in the form of a monthly pension or a one-time payment. Once you've made at least one contribution to the NIC, you're entitled for a retirement benefit.
One contribution?
At least, because if it's one contribution, you get a retirement grant, a one-time payment. So that qualifies you. Once you have made at least 1 month of contribution, it qualifies you to a retirement benefit. In that case, for the 1 month, 1 month to 179 months would qualify you to a one-time payment. That's the retirement grant.
Okay.
Which is 67% of everything that you've put into the NIC.
So if it's 1 month and you make $100, you'll get $67.
Correct.
And that's all you'll get.
That's your final payment from the NIC.
Right.
So between 1 month and 179 months of contributions, you get a one-time payment, the retirement grant.
Okay.
Which is 67% of everything that you've put into the NIC. For a self-employed person, it would be 70% of everything that they've put into the NIC.
Okay.
So to qualify for a monthly pension, which is the retirement pension, you should have paid into the NIC for 180 months.
180 months.
180.
That's how many years? I mean, generally, about 180 to. So it is. 17 years or
15.
15 years.
Yes.
15 years.
Yes. And at the 180 month mark, you're at 40% of what your total pension could be.
Okay.
0.1% is added for every month beyond the 180 mark. And this could go up to 60%, which equals 380 months of contributions. And that is considered to be a full pension.
380 months.
380 months, which is 60%, and that's a full pension.
All right.
But we need to bear in mind the age at which you take the pension. Because the retirement age in St. Lucia is currently 65, and one can apply for an early modified or a reduced pension between the age of 60 to 64. So within that window of time, there is a 0.5% reduction factor for every month you are less 65.
Okay.
Dr. Suraj said something. He said some people don't qualify. Did you understand what he said there?
Yes.
And if that is so, explain, please.
Well, he said they don't qualify for retirement benefits.
Yeah.
And I said to qualify for a retirement benefit, you can pay at least 1 month, because retirement benefits, you can either get a retirement pension or a retirement grant. These two payouts fall under the retirement benefit umbrella. So it can either be a one-time payment or a monthly payment. So persons who don't qualify for retirement benefits are persons who have not contributed to the NIC.
I'd be curious to know, have you ever heard any of the reasons people would give for taking the grant instead of having the monthly?
They take the grant because they have less than the 180 months of contributions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not an option they have. Is what they're entitled to.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, so
Okay.
once you made at least 1 month of contribution to the NIC, you're entitled to a retirement grant.
Okay. The call is back, by the way.
Okay. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes,
Good-
okay.
Welcome back.
Because Dr. Suraj, Andre, and Miss Alexander,
Yes.
there are three things I'm very conscious of: my salvation, my eyesight, and NIC. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Miss Alexander,
Yes, please.
let's say you have a foreigner. I'll put as
A
close as
non-national.
a non-national. I mean, he works in St. Lucia. He has work permit. That's why he works.
Correct.
And he has made a contribution, let's say, for the 180 months, about 15 years. That means he's entitled for his monthly benefit. Huh?
Correct.
And if this person migrate to his homeland, does the NIC give this person a lump sum, or they give this person an allowance every month?
So this person would need to satisfy the age as well. So if this person,
And the age. And
so if this person worked in St. Lucia for 15 years and contributed within that time in their early years, and they migrate to their homeland and they're under the age of 50, that's fine. When they turn 60 or the retirement age, the current retirement age, wherever they are in the world, they can apply for the retirement benefits.
and for every month,
Well,
or lump sum?
if they're entitled to a monthly payment, in your example, you said they've paid 180 months, 15 years, that would be entitlement for a monthly pension. So wherever they are in the world, they can apply for the.
Okay.
And
Okay,
also, please
okay.
note that NIC has signed up to the CARICOM reciprocal agreement, that is St. Lucia and any other CARICOM state and Canada. Once you've worked in any of those jurisdictions, you can, NIC St. Lucia would inquire and receive the number of months you worked in these other territories, and they would add it to the number of months you have in St. Lucia, and that would give you a chance to also be entitled to a monthly pension if it is that you have not worked for the 180 months in St. Lucia or in your homeland.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
okay.
Thank you.
So you can accumulate it in different jurisdictions.
Yes, CARICOM states and Canada.
Oh, states and Canada.
CARICOM states.
CARICOM, yeah.
CARICOM states.
Okay. So you don't lose your
You don't.
benefits. You carry it on.
Correct.
Let me just get the numbers again, if you don't mind.
Yep.
The fixed line is 572-9710. 572-9710, or you can WhatsApp 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971.
Okay. Now there are two conditions that sometimes there is a lack of clarity in it: disability and invalidity. And I may have touched on that the last time, I don't recall. What is the difference between the two?
Sorry, before you answer, you have a call? Would you like to take it now? Or?
Yeah, I'll take the call now.
Okay, all right.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Doc. Mrs. Alexander,
Good evening.
I
Good
think I
evening.
have a stupid question.
No,
I know the answer.
no
but
question is
I still
stupid.
go to ask. No, because I know the actual answer, but I still go to ask the question.
Yeah.
So I know I have not reached the quota. I have not reached the quota because of where I've worked and different places I've worked. They were not. I used to do a lot of housekeeping. They were not paying. And I worked in little restaurants already. They were not contributing. So can I take my grant at the age I am there, 55, 56 years?
No, you cannot.
Why not? But it's my money and I want it now.
But Miss, you said you knew the answer to your question. So I like what you said. Did you say it's your money?
Yes.
So did you hear from the start of this conversation when I explained what's a bank vis-a-vis NIC? So it's not my money. You're contributing to St. Lucia's Social Security, and based on our acts and regulations, the retirement age is 65, but you can apply for your early modified or your reduced pension at the age of 60. But you're too young, you're 55. So based on age, you cannot apply for your retirement benefits. However, if someone who is deemed by a doctor as unfit to work in a permanent capacity, then you can apply for your invalidity pension or benefits at the age of 55. So if it's a case that you're just tired of working at 55, no. You're too young.
And the thing is, I'm not tired. I no longer reside in St. Lucia. I live abroad, so can I come home and just take my ticket?
At 60.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I knew that first, but I thought I was able to force to take it if I wanted to.
No.
It's a good question.
All right.
It's a good question.
But this caller raised something which is very interesting. She said that she's aware that the places that she worked, deductions were not being made. NIC was not being made on her behalf. She mentioned a domestic worker.
Yeah.
And also little restaurants. Listeners, in these households that you work for, in the event that something happens to you on the job, would your employer pay you 100%? You get injured on the job while you're carrying out your duties. Your medical expenses that you would have incurred as a result of that accident on the job, would the homeowner, would your employer pay you 100%? In the little restaurant, when you're on sick leave for 2 weeks, would your employer, the little restaurant owner, would they pay you 100% when you are out? Most probably the answer is no. And this is what Social Security NIC is there to do, protect you in these cases of loss of income. The homeowners, the little restaurant owner, employers who do not deduct and submit the payments to the NIC, they're not doing you anything good. Yes, you might be receiving your full salary at the end of the month and you feel you're happy about it. But it's these times when there's income loss, these unforeseen times. You're getting older, we're maturing, there'll become a time where we're unable to work again. Will these employers give us money every month in a pension? No.
But Ms. Alexander, I mean, I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, especially back in the day where we didn't have minimum wage and things like that. These people were making very, very low wages. And in their thinking, even if my boss didn't pay it, I mean, even if he does pay, it'll be a lot less than what I'm currently getting. So I think we have to try to understand the dynamics of what was going on, especially, I mean, at her age. Obviously, she's been working, she's in her 50s, right? So I said we had no minimum wage or anything like that back then. And I'm sure those domestic jobs don't pay very, very well. That's number one. And number two, right? Assuming she wants to be astute and said, okay, you know something, I don't mind making the sacrifice and pay the NIC, maybe in those days, maybe she's making $20 a month, maybe paying them $20 a month, right? By your own admission a while ago, you don't even get the full amount. So for a lot of these people, it was a tough decision.
So Andre, you said that happened then. It still happens today. I'm not sure if it's a case that homeowners are not aware that the babysitters, the domestic help, their maids, their gardeners, these persons that need to come in it's a routine. They still are unaware that these persons, they are employers. So it's not a case that it happened then and it's not happening now because they are aware of the information. It still happens.
No. I said there was no minimum wage.
But even before
different.
a minimum wage,
exactly,
deductions are supposed to be made because for that time where there's, and regardless of the salary, I always make mention of when I started working.
And you should also say regardless of the salary and regardless of the benefits, because the benefits are not that great.
But then outside of that, it's nothing. Well, so the not that great benefits is actually better than the nothing benefits.
Well, small benefits
I
for
don't know.
small contribution.
I don't know.
Big
Dr.
benefits,
Suraj,
yeah.
think about it, Dr. Suraj. You making $200 a month, right? And you contributing to the NIC $20 a month, for example, right? And then now you fall ill. And you're going to get, 65% of what you said there, of what you're making, right? I mean, think about it. Let's be real.
And on the flip side, Mr. Paul, let's be real. It's either that little 65% of the little money to nothing.
Yeah. Well, people survive. You get another job. You move on.
But the other thing also is that...
So I'm just saying, you have to take that into consideration.
I think if in a society outside of Social Security, I could understand us taking that into consideration. But in Social Security is there for a reason. And outside of Social Security, persons would be falling into poverty a lot quicker because there'd be no financial support or system to assist them. However, regardless of how big or how small the salary is, I think Social Security is there for that cushion. We speak about somebody who's earning a salary of $200 a month. They're paying, $20 a month. With the increase, before the recent increase in retirement pensions or pensions, the minimum pension was $300 a month. And most of the persons who received it $300 a month, when NIC had to do the regular calculations, their pension would have been less than $300 and it was bumped up to $300. Same thing with pension being increased to $500. It's the same. And you might think, okay, Joel, what is $300 a month and $500 a month? But then outside of that, what do these pensioners have in place to receive some kind of financial assistance or an income or a pension every month? So yes, we might look at the amounts, the earnings is small, the pension is small, but outside of that small earning and that small pension, what do we have?
So there should be more avenues than just the NIC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There was a lady who was here with me a couple of weeks ago. She has a child with cerebral palsy, and she said she can't work because the child needs 24 hours care. And, and she said she gets $200 in state assistance. Okay. Now, how are you going to make it?
Well, these have to be revised because...
So I like what you said there, Dr. Suraj. There's got to be more than that, or something else.
Right. It has to be revised because in fact, as a matter of fact, today's topic, I was going to phrase it differently and talk about the success of a country. How is it defined? Is it defined based on GDP? Is it defined based on happiness? Is it defined because of social security? How is it defined? How can we know when we are progressing? And one of the issues is what provision we have for those who are helpless,
most vulnerable,
and the vulnerable one. And so we have to put system in place because, as Mrs.
Alexander
was saying, that it is not NIC is not the answer for everything, but however it has its place in the many facets of assistance. So I think that the vulnerable and those who cannot take care of themselves need the old, the aged, because no matter how unimportant you might think somebody may be in terms of the social ladder, they have made a contribution somewhere during their working life. And we don't treat them with the respect we ought to treat them.
I agree. I agree.
Not because they're on the street tomorrow. You don't know what's on their mind. You don't know what they're going through. And we tend to just bypass them and see them as nuisance. I'm always concerned when they come to me and ask me for $1, whether to give it or not, because are you going to give it to them for them to go and smoke or drink, or are they really needing it for survival?
A lady met me one time, Dr. Suraj, and she said to me, I thought maybe she was wrong. That's what I thought. She said to me that her husband died, and she's getting a portion of his
pension.
His pension. And she said to me she cannot marry. Oh, sorry. She can't be with another individual, because if she does that, whatever she's getting will stop. I asked her, well, how how would the NIC know something like that?
Okay.
She says they have ways of finding out.
So she cannot cohabit.
Yeah, there you go.
Cohabit or
There you go.
remarry.
This is mind-boggling. You cannot cohabit and you cannot marry. If you do that, the little something that you're getting there, that stops. I mean, sorry, I mean, I know this is not you. You're working for an organization. But this has to change. It can't continue like this. Imagine, I know the lady, she has 3 children. She had 2 children who were sick in the house, and her husband was sick as well. And of course, he died. He died. But she still has the 2 that she's taking care of. And I know the situation because I go to the house.
Okay.
And she was telling me about her situation. She cannot move on. She cannot have another boyfriend. Because if she does, that means she's getting some kind of assistance. So what she's getting
in lieu
there,
of having
it
no
stops.
support.
It stops.
She's getting it in lieu of
So
having
Andrew,
no
you're
support.
saying that she cannot leave somebody, she can't have a boyfriend, she can't cohabit.
Cohabit is the word.
So you'll have to
so you
go
can visit.
spend a night and go home.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be getting some subsistence.
But Dr. Suraj, you made a very, very valid point there. There's got to be something more than this. Even now in the elections coming up, you're hearing people talking about providing some kind of insurance coverage for every St. Lucian. This is a big topic all over the place. I was talking to a guy just a few days ago, and he was telling me he's going to vote for the United Workers' Party for that one reason, because he says he has no coverage.
But I'll tell you my experience, and that is almost every week, at least every month, I meet somebody who needs either a test or an operation or some other intervention that is not available here. And I have to find who can do it, at what cost they can do it, and how to assist him in raising the money to be able to go. And sometimes they even want a letter from me saying, to whom it may concern, this person have ABC. And I almost feel as though this is a conflict of interest. Because there am I advocating to raise money for you to come back to me to get an operation done. You understand?
You ever called Dr. Suraj?
Hello.
From our favorite caller. Thanks for calling back, sir.
Hi.
Hey, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is close to my heart, you see, the NIC, because I want the NIC to be there for the rest of my life. Yeah.
I think it's going to be there.
Yeah, let me tell you. The floor, I mean, of the NIC is $500. I mean, the less. Can I say 500?
The minimum pension, yes, $500.
The minimum, yeah. And the maximum?
Currently is $3,000.
$3,000. Okay, for the past 10, 15 years or so, I mean, how has it been on people who go on retirement? Do you get more between the 500 to 1,005, or you get more between the 1,005 to the 3,000?
Do you get more with the 500 to 1,005 or 5,000?
Or 1,005 to 3,000?
I don't have that information with me. But that'll be interesting to know.
Oh, yes. Because if we have this information, I mean, we can know where the NIC stand at, what it can do and what it cannot do. Because, I mean, it's not a lot of people who really work to get at least $3,000. I mean, the bracket is small. Those who will go on retirement to get at least $3,000 a month. You understand? The majority will get between 500 to 1,005. Yeah. Okay. Because of our small size and our economy and so forth. So that's what I want to know. I really want to know this one. Okay. Between the 500 to 1,005, what is the amount, what is the volume from 500 to 1,005 and from 1,005 to 3,000? Do we have more from the 500 to 1,005 or less? Or do we have more from the 1,005 to 3,000 or less? I really want to know this one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Alexander, that means you have to come back.
Homework.
Yeah, you have to come back.
Yeah.
So, Doc, you asked a question earlier on the difference between disability and invalidity benefits.
Yeah.
So, disability benefits is when somebody who got injured on the job, they receive the employment injury benefit. They were out of work for 12 months. And that's the max time we pay on the employment injury benefit claim.
1 year.
1 year.
12 months.
12 months, yes. This person is still unable to return to work. At the end of the 12 months, they will need to go back to the doctor for the doctor to assess their percentage of disability. And based on that, the disability benefit is paid out to them.
And by the way, is it paid according to the person's salary, or is a fixed amount that the NIC has already set aside for people who have a disability?
So note, so it's not a disability the person has. The person got injured on the job and they were on employment injury benefit for the year and they are unable to return to work. So it may not be a case that they're disabled in the loose definition of the word how we normally use it. So this person, the doctor will need to assess their disability. So you're asking whether it's a fixed amount or all our benefits are based on contributions.
From the
contributions that you make while you are at work. Your benefits are based on your contributions. So then for our long-term benefits, the base is the best 5 years. The best 5 years are the highest 5 years. So whatever your personal highest 5 years are, that would be the base for your long-term benefits, your pension. So then that's disability benefit. Invalidity benefit is when a doctor has deemed you unfit to work in a permanent capacity.
So there's a permanence attached to the difference between the two.
So the reason, so disability is based on an incident or accident on the job. It should be in a permanent capacity because you're unable to return to work after 12 months. The doctor would assess you to get the percentage of your disability. For invalidity, it's a case that the doctor has deemed you unfit to work in a permanent capacity. It's not attached to an employment injury. The doctor has just deemed you unfit to work in a permanent capacity, and the invalidity benefit is paid out to you.
So you, that invalidity person, not expected to have gainful employment. You are not incapable of working.
Correct. The doctor has deemed you unfit to work in a permanent capacity.
And the disability one, you may have a broken arm, but the rest of you can work.
So I like what you said. A broken arm would not prevent you from going because you can't go back to work with a broken arm.
Yeah. When it's healed, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. So there's a temporary nature to it. Okay. Yeah, that kind of.
Because I think the issue here is persons think of disability as somebody who is disabled, but it's not necessarily somebody who is disabled because. What you may not know is that for employment injury, it could be also mental. It could be bodily disablement or mental disablement. So then you would not just look at someone and see this person has a mental disablement. Unless you're a doctor and you see certain things and whatnot. So then you cannot. It's not a case that somebody is disabled and a broken part of their body. It's just that they are unable to work because of either a bodily or a mental disablement.
But these people can't work elsewhere in an area that they can be deployed into a different.
So, Doc, for somebody who's on the invalidity, receiving an invalidity benefit pension, the doctor assessed them and indicated that they are unfit to work a permanent capacity. It's not a case that they cannot work at Dr. Suraj's office. However, they can work at Dr. Paul's office. No, the doctor assessed them.
I'm talking about the disability one. I'm talking about.
The disability is you're unable to return to work because of the nature of your injury on the job.
Okay, but nature on the injury. If you are somebody who's typing, your job is to type. You have 10 fingers you can type with. So if you're missing 4 fingers in an accident. Well, you really cannot type anymore. But however, you can do other things.
So then, in that case, so you are able to return to work at the end, before the end of the 12 months. It's because you remember this person is on sick leave, away from work. If the case that this person is a typist and they lost 4 fingers on one hand, they wouldn't be on sick leave because let's just assume that within the year it's healed. The wounds are healed, so they are able to return to work.
Yeah, right. Okay. Because they can't go to work but in a different.
So that's for the employer now to be able to
redeploy them elsewhere. So that's why I've written letters like that, asking for deployment. That this person is fit but cannot do certain things. And so forth. So that's why I was asking.
So then this person may or may not be out of work for 12 months.
No.
Based on the example that you
that's
just
right.
gave.
No, not so long.
Unfortunately, Dr. Suraj, we have to wrap up.
We do?
Yes.
I was just getting warmed up.
I realize that.
Okay, well, thank you, Andre, for giving me the bad news, but we have to leave. And thank you very much, Ms. Riz, for your kind contribution towards making people understand. There were a lot of things I wanted to go to as to why is it that there is such misconception regarding NIS and what can be done about it, but that may be for another show.
Because there's very little public information.
That's right.
Yes. I suspect, as the communications officer, she does a lot of private talks and speeches and so on. I'm sure that's what probably happens.
Okay.
But the NIC has to find a way, 21st century way of disseminating information.
But you should approach them and ask them to develop a regime with you.
I have already. And all I got is that beautiful smile. That's what I got.
Okay, listeners and viewers, thank you very much for listening. Next week, maybe not next week. Next week I'm taking.
Yes.
I'll give you all a break next week, and I'll come back the following week.
Yes.
Right.
Dr. Suraj has to go to vote.
I think me 2 days to vote.
Yes, I think so. Okay, Dr. Suraj, thank you.
Right.
And Mrs. Alexander, thank you very much for your time.
Good night.
Hey, good night. This has been Doctor in the House with Dr. Leonard Suraj, brought to you with the compliments of La Place Alison, Susie's Variety, and Tapia Hospital.
At Tapia Hospital, we operate a 24-hour emergency service for all your urgent healthcare needs. Our qualified medical specialist will be on hand to ensure that you receive the best of care. Call us at 459-2617. Tapia Hospital, where the patient safety comes first.
You are the guru of groceries. You have a heightened awareness for lower prices. You journey to find freshness and variety and quality brands. And you have an acquired taste for specialty items. You want to set a good example for your followers. And that's why your higher calling is Susie's Variety Store. 2 stores that beat the giants on pricing, variety, and quality. Susie's Variety, small store, big love. Located in Cantonment, Vieux Fort, and Bois d'Orange, Gros-Îlet. Telephone 458-4161.
It's delicious.
La Place Alison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Alison, of course. La Place Alison, Castries, Gros-Îlet, Vieux Fort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
Rev-Up St. Lucia is located at Unit 4, Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, Castries, St. Lucia. Tune in on 95.9 FM or online at